Collaboration is a trend increasingly witnessed across the supply chain. Could you explain ways in which the Port of LA is collaborating with new partners?
We're working through collaborative efforts across the supply chain today, beginning with our work with the Port of Long Beach on our supply chain optimization steering committee, core group, and working groups. As authorized by the Federal Maritime Commission back in February, we received unanimous approval to work on all issues of the supply chain, infrastructure, safety, security, and our environmental strategy, with the exception of terms and price on our customer between the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. That work has really fanned out to bring in new stakeholders to the conversation on the technology side, energy, as well as environmental. This is work that we're very proud of at this time, but there's much more to do in raising the bar along the lines of optimization, as well as our other strategies and tactics that we're implementing today.
As the CEO of America's biggest port, you've looked at a number of ways the supply chain can be optimized. Would you care to share some of your insight with us?
What we're hearing from the cargo owners and other stakeholders is that we need a predictable, transparent supply chain that gives us the opportunity to compete on the world stage. With that, we have broken out the various nodes of stakeholder groups within the chain itself, which is very complex, and tried to be the entity that brings those folks together. So far, we're gaining a lot of traction in the dialogue and implementation of quicker solutions that need to be implemented as fast as possible. The longer range and strategic planning is also now taking fold within our core group of stakeholders that has been assembled under the supply chain optimization work with the Port of Long Beach and Los Angeles. As we look at those specific nodes within the supply chain, we've seen areas that need work. We've also seen folks come to us with potential solutions. Trying to make sure that we're prepared for the larger ships that are coming our way and that will be with us as a matter of fact in the supply chain are the beginning of that discussion. Having vessels in Asia loaded sequentially, or what we call in the industry block stowage, will allow us to better prepare for secondary conveyance as vessels arrive and discharge here in Southern California. Of equal importance is the work that we're doing with the Western railroads, the trucking community, and secondary conveyance operators. That work also needs to have transparency and visibility as to the cargo that's coming their way for planning purposes. At the same time, we're working very closely with the export community so we can have a predictable look at the cargo that's moving westbound as well. Tying all these nodes of the supply chain together is of paramount importance to us because the more collaboration that is taking place, the more dialogue that is happening every day will create the solutions necessary for us to improve on not only our performance as service providers, but add value to the cargo owners here as well as Asia.
Can you explain the role technology is playing in your collaborative efforts?
Quite simply, the feedback that we've received from the stakeholders is that although we have data points throughout the universe, no one system today can harness all that data so we can use it for forecasting purposes, the work that we need with visibility tools, or quite simply understanding where cargo is at any point in time from the cargo owner's perspective. With that, we're working on a number of areas today to help bring these data points together. So again, we can give the cargo owner a different look and a different angle of transparency than they've ever seen before. And in collaborating with some of my counterparts around the world, we believe this will be a first-in-kind step that the Port of Los Angeles is taking along with its work at the Port of Long Beach.